Hey friends, it is your Dyke Daddies.
Ariel Speedwagon.
Hadassah Damien, wearing earth tones, here to talk about prepping.
Everyone's favorite topic here in whatever it is we're doing.
The reason we're talking about it tonight is because these awesome tariffs are also getting announced tomorrow, and it's pertinent.
So what we're thinking about when we think about prepping is this range of approaches to anticipating external disasters and increasing your resilience. That can be making sure you have extra water or a flashlight, all the way to the full bunker dropping out of society. And part of what makes this feel so important is because these tariffs, everyone's like, what happened if the
Supply chain collapse.
Yeah, exactly. We just don't do that anymore. Huh.
Or do we? So prepping can feel really squishy. What do I do? How do I prep? In order to prep, you have to know what you're prepping for. That's step one, friends. So the question is, what disaster are you anticipating? Is it consumer goods getting too expensive, looking likely?
Seems like, what do you think they're calling it tomorrow?
I don't want to say, it's
Fair
disgusting.
enough.
But thanks, guys, for increasing the cost of all the imports by 20% or whatever it's going to be. Nobody actually knows the plan because they are absolute
They're making
fuck-ups
it up as they
without first making internal supply chains to replace the products. So this is going to go great. And if you have money, you'll be fine. But for most everybody, good luck. Maybe if you did already prep and get some things ahead of time that are imports, that was probably smart because you were anticipating this disaster. Yeah. Another type of thing people are thinking about prepping for, downfall of the money system. Oh, I hear that a lot. Tag that one for later.
It's too big.
Stressful.
It's too big for this right now.
What
We're
else?
going to have to do other work.
Ariel.
And other things we think about, and we hear a lot about, especially lately, and with some of the fires and disasters, is prepping for the possibility of evacuation or disruption in the stability of your neighborhood because of an environmental problem. Actually a pretty good idea. You should know what you're going to grab, and you should have it in one place in case you need to go somewhere, especially if you live in a wildfire place during wildfire season, a tornado place during tornado season. You should be ready to go, which means having the things you need, because if you don't have them, it gets much harder later. And the final one that I think could be much larger and ties back to the downfall of the money system is this total government collapse. Total government collapse. Whoa, whoa, whoa. AKA where you get back to the bunker people who are just, I don't know, I'm going to have my 75 years of canned goods and a bunch of guns, right? And what's funny is it predicates on this apocalyptic downfall when actually what it is kind of what we're doing right now. We don't know if we're going to be able to get Head Start. We don't know if there will be summer lunch programs for kids. Our library is going to be defunded. Our school's going to collapse.
Will people still sell us gasoline?
Exactly. Will we have gasoline? Nobody knows this stuff. And so the fragility of this is something we are all learning about. And the idea it's going to look like a switch flipping and suddenly we're all in all leather, riding around in weird jerry-rigged car tanks. Probably what's going to happen is this.
Oh man, really?
I mean, it might also happen. Don't worry, you'll get your leather bra and machine gun if that's what you're looking for. Leather bra.
Okay, yeah, that.
But prepping in this context is not being like, I built my bunker, unless that's what you want to do. It's saying, how am I going to make sure the kids I know in the neighborhood who might get free lunch can get free lunch? Things like that. This is going to look like the bureaucratic collapse. Not, even though it's sexy, the like, fur bikinis and zombie attacks.
And to this point, right, first off, you have to do your best guesstimating and of the disaster you're trying to prepare for. The disaster that Ariel just described is some parts truth, some parts imagination. And part of the thing about prepping and disaster preparedness is that with environmental stuff, if you live in a wildfire place, there's probably going to be fire at some point. There's some decent evidence there. Here, we're a little bit like, how broken will democracy get? How, question mark. There's less evidence, there's just less clarity, so it's harder to prep. And I just want to say, I think that failed prepping is the fucking nuclear family in a bunker.
Oh, 100%.
You know what I mean? Zombies are unlikely. People just...
If we've gotten to zombies, statistically, we're losing.
We're already spending 5 hours a day on our phones just trying to buy things. Maybe it already happened.
Whoa, maybe phones are the zombie mind disease.
Fuck the system, man. Consumerism.
Well, it's going to be funny because where do phones come from? Not the United States.
Thank you. Batteries, not so
Awkward.
much.
But I think it's true. What we're seeing right now and what you need to prepare for is what is anticipatable? Because you can anticipate these things.
Right. And you can't spend all your time imagining what's going to go wrong and then trying to prepare for all of it, because you also have to make lunch. Do you know what I mean?
I know. Prepping is all of us having dinner last night, talking to our friends and being like, okay, you see eggs, get eggs for the family. right?
Mm-hmm.
Teamwork and teamwork resilience, not this fucking nuclear family in a bunker being like, we're ready. Like, at least bring all your
You
friends.
don't have any eggs, homie. The rest of us are in our cute little polycules with our eggs. So
we're all hanging out with our 15 best friends and lovers, just being like, I got you some eggs, babe.
Yeah, so anyway, we didn't come up with any prepping resources. So in the comments...
Your job.
What are some resources for prepping? And what do you think about it?
Exactly. Let us know. We'll highlight some of the good stuff. And we'll back to you. Maybe next time, instead of New Earth tones, we'll be wearing fur bikinis.
I'll be on a fucking ATV. It'll be amazing.
It's your Dyke Daddies.
Bye.
Signing off.